I realized that what I've said in the last two videos might actually seem very inconsistent, because in one of the videos I was saying how I used to always travel around England with my dad, and we used to like go to all the different villages, and it used to be really nice. And then I was talking about how I actually felt very cut off and very like isolated, and what I mean when I say that is that I've gone through different phases of my life. So there was kind of like the phase of growing up to the age of 18. During this time, you know, we used to, like 4 times a year or something, do round trips around England, see nice places. And at that stage of my life, I didn't have to worry about money. I just assumed that I was just, you know, going to go to, I didn't even know if I was going to go to uni or not. I said I was only going to go if my parents paid. But yeah, so I went through a time of my life. In that time, although I didn't really have huge amounts of friends, I did feel like I got a sense of England and how nice it was. So this was before, up till the age of probably about 20 even, you know, going to lots of places and getting a sense of the community around. And so there's that stage of my life which is very, very, very different to the second stage of my life, or this middle period. So once I was in uni, you know, I guess that was when I started realizing that I wasn't going to get the flat, and then that kind of was like, well, what do? I don't know what my job was. I wanted to be a property developer, and if my dad's not going to help me buy a property, then how am I going to get onto the ladder? And getting a job was getting the job that kind of switched. You know, I didn't actually realize that I had a problem with society. I didn't spend money, but I kind of did. Like once a week my dad would give me about £10. Like it wasn't much, but I didn't think that I had a money problem at that time, because if I wanted money I would get it from him. He would never give me much, but you know, I didn't need more. And yeah, it was only when I was trying to get a job that's when I realized I couldn't get a job, and he was kind of like, I guess not, he was getting angrier and angrier, I guess, at the fact that I wasn't able to get a job, and the fact that I had no idea like what I wanted to do, and because, you know, the only thing I wanted was to get onto the property market. I was watching lots and lots of TV shows, I was watching lots of forensic detectives. You know, I probably could have gone into forensic detectives or working in that department, but I kind of thought they were doing a pretty good job. From all the things that I'd seen, I thought they were pretty much doing a good job, so I didn't focus on that. And I guess I wanted to go into the film industry or the TV industry, and just no one would respond to me on that. And then music industry, and it just felt like whatever I applied for, I wasn't getting any acknowledgement for. And then it almost became like a fear to go into somewhere and say, can I have a job? Because it almost felt like I was begging for money or something, and therefore to actually confront these people about getting a job, almost, I don't know, I think like I had self-doubt of my like ability to earn, I don't know, the salaries or whatever they were, but it's almost like an embarrassment, feeling embarrassed to ask people to have a job, because it's like it's almost like I'm asking for money. Because I'm asking for a job, I'm asking for money. And I know my parents were not helping me, and this is when I started becoming more and more cut off and isolated. And then I started actually becoming really worried, because I was like, well, I've had a good life, but I've not earned anything. And then the sort of the real problems started coming on, and I think that was when the trauma actually started for me, of feeling like I don't belong here. I never felt that way beforehand. So if I talk about like one side of feeling like I'm you know, normal and average and fitting in well, and then I talk about times where I'm not, I'm referring to different periods of my life, I guess.